So, the thing is this, with controller, I think it makes it a lot more accessible to people who haven't played it before or haven't played any of this kind of detailed RPG. And it kind of, I mean, I'll show you, I'm actually going to show you, that's the thing. I'm going to play it with the controller. We'll launch in with keyboard and mouse, just so that I can quickly show you the interface before. The great thing is, when you're playing BG3, it instantly detects if you're playing with a controller. So even if you launch and you're playing it keyboard and mouse, the minute you click your controller, it completely changes the interface. I've never seen anything like it. They have put so much effort into this game, bless them. And of course, they have had an absolute ton of sales. They've done exceptionally well. So anyway, without any more further ado, because I'm fed up with seeing my face, let's get over to the game. So I want to show you, before we go to controller, how you play this with a keyboard and mouse. I think this is quite important. So first and foremost, you don't guide your characters, you tell them where you want them to go. So you can either click,
my feet can carry me,
and they'll go there, or you can hold the left mouse button down and they will follow you. Now this is where it gets a bit, because obviously you want to be able to see behind. And it won't, you can set it to track them, but most people don't. So you have to hold down the wheel to spin it around, and then you can hold your mouse and then she will follow the mouse. Mine's a she, which is why I say that. These are my characters that I'm running in this particular, this is my party, sorry, is what they call them, that I'm running in this particular game. Down the left hand side is the individual members of the party. If I come out of here, so you can do a few things. I mean, that's the one thing I don't really like, is the way that you've got to hold that button down to move the camera and stuff. It's really why, personally, I chose to use a controller, and I'll show you why in a second. But if we just stop her there, there's some nice things you can do with the keyboard and mouse that you can do, but they're not as pretty with a controller. For example, sometimes you want your party to stop following you. You know, you need to go and deal with something on your own and they're going to get killed, or you want them to stand on a trap or what have you. So you can literally grab yourself, I love this, and pull yourself off the chain, woohoo, and be an individual. And then you can just join up again to be back in the group, which is pretty. Down the bottom here you have, I'm not going to go into the details, by the way, of the mechanics of the game. I just want to show you the interface and then how different it is with the controller. So here you can see my character, the very gorgeous Rokk. There's a pattern, isn't there? And then you've got all sorts of stuff. It shows you the weapons that she's carrying. It's got the actions. It's got the sort of spells and all sorts of gear going on. Very complicated, quite honestly. You can reduce this down and do all this stuff if you want to. And you can even drag it around. It's literally like a little Windows application. And all these little buttons and stuff on the map up here, for example, you can zoom in and out. Can't do that with a controller, but it doesn't matter particularly. You can have a look at your quests in the journal and that kind of thing. So, you know, it's pretty cool. You can move your mouse over anything. You're not going, until you hold the button down, you won't send your characters there. And so if you want to have a look and see if there's something inside that vase, you can mouse over it and press T, and it will tell you that, you know, it's resistant to things, and it'll show you if there's anything in the item and so on. It's pretty cool. You can do this with a controller, and I'll show you how in a second. I think it's an easier way of doing it with a controller. So, you know, fundamentally, lots of little buttons. And again, if you're playing from 8 feet away from the TV, which of course PlayStation, Xbox people will be when it launches, most of them, not all. If you're a PC user, you're probably sat within 2 feet of the monitor, in which case having lots of little buttons and different ways to do things is not an issue. But as you guys know, I play on my cozy leather sofa, 10 feet away from the TV, which means I can play it with a keyboard and mouse. I have a Bluetooth keyboard and mouse. I can easily sit them on my lap and play perfectly fine with it. But a lot of these little buttons disappear. They're just not visible. They're not obvious what they are. So, put that away. Let's get the old Stadia controller out. Okay, there we go. So I've pressed a button, and you can see straight away we no longer have that hot bar, as they call it, along the bottom. We do have our character party down the left-hand side, although all the buttons and stuff around it have disappeared. The map is still there, but as you can see, all the buttons and bits and pieces that were around it have all gone. So you suddenly have a really clean interface. And here's the thing I love. Right thumbstick is the camera. Left thumbstick moves your character around, just as per 98.9% of all games on the planet, which I find much easier. These guys will just follow you everywhere. You can flick and change and become one of them and do stuff with them, and they all have their own specialties and weapons and bits and pieces, so that's perfectly fine. Now you're saying, okay, Rokk, I've played it with a keyboard and mouse. I can see that I like that, the fact that you can control it and stuff. I get that. What about when you want to, do an action? Well, that's really cool. All you do is press the right bumper, and then it comes up in radial menus like this. So instead of all of those icons in one big long bar, and don't forget, when you're in a fight situation, because it's kind of turn-based, you're not having to, oh, I've got to choose quick, he's coming. It'll wait for you. You can take an hour if you need to. So all you do is you just radial around with the left thumbstick, find the action that you're wanting to use. So I might, for example, want to get my spiritual weapon out. Yes, that's the cleric's one. So you push up using your thumbstick, push up and press A to select. Oh, then there's variants, you see, so it's gone to a new wheel. It says, okay, what spiritual weapon? I always love the trident. There we go, and I'll just tell her. Now it's moved me into a slightly different setup because it wants me to place the weapon. So we'll place it there. Actually gives you an additional member of the party. It's worth having. So there you go. We're back to her running around now, which is excellent. And you'll see as well, and this is something that Ant mentioned on Players last night, because he was saying, oh, I've played it, and they're all little tiny characters. Well, no, as you can see, by pushing the thumbstick, the right thumbstick, you can zoom in pretty close to your character. And then if you pull it all the way back, you see it from a top-down perspective, and that obviously gives you a bit more of a view. There's some other things that I like to do as well. If I just zoom back down again, if I push down with the left thumbstick, thus, it now disassociates me from my character. Now, I've shown you this before. I often play a game where I'm wondering what's around the corner. I don't want to move my character there, so I go into photo mode. And once you've selected photo mode and you become the camera, you can move it around to take a photo, which is a really cheeky way to have a look around a corner and see what's there. Well, you can do that in this mode. Look how far I can go before I have to let it go. This is not my character. This is essentially moving us into the same mode as we saw with keyboard and mouse, okay? So by pushing down on the left thumbstick, I can tell her to move here, exactly the same as that, but I use it specifically to have a look around, because look at this. If I go with my back to the wall and go backwards, it will actually allow me to go inside a building. Let's do it. Here we go. So it's really cool for finding out where there are hidden rooms. And I've been very successful in finding hidden rooms within the game just by moving that camera. It will go through any object, you see. So it's a really neat little trick, and you can pull it all the way back up as well, the same as you can with your character. So you can use it to have a look around, and it will even allow you to inspect different items and things. So that's a really big tip for using the controller. Now, the other thing that I showed, let me come out of that mode. The other thing that I showed you with keyboard and mouse was how you could select or move your mouse over an object and then press T to inspect the object. Well, you can do that, but there's a thing that I love to do. And unfortunately, my one gripe as we slowly make our way up the stairs with this game is you cannot change the speed of your characters, which annoys the hell out of me because they're not exactly fast, let's be honest. Using Wii mods, you can indeed speed the game up, but everything speeds up, which means when you're doing dialogue, the text on screen disappears quicker than they talk, so it's kind of... Now, you can move up to any object, and you'll see that you'll get a context menu, open, use, etc. However, my favourite thing, if you walk anywhere within the vicinity of a bunch of items and hold down the A, now you can see it saying open, but if I hold down the A key, you'll see that it searches for an area, and when I let go, on the left-hand side, it shows me everything that is actionable within that radius. So, for example, animal carcass, it says A open at the bottom. If I click open, she'll go over to it, and she'll show me what's inside the carcass. If I go to the cabinet, she'll do the same thing. Oh, look, there's some items. Well, that's good, because while we're here, there's a couple of health potions that you'll probably want. There's a fire resistance elixir, which you would take if you were in fire. And then there's a bigger healing thing. Now, you can take these one at a time and it'll add it to the character that you're currently running around with. Or you can hit Y, as it says at the bottom, and it will take the whole lot. Or you can decide that actually one of your other characters hasn't got enough potion. So if you hit the X key, you can send it to one of your other characters. So I'm going to send that one to her. We'll send that one to him. And we'll actually send this one back to camp. Camp is your base. It's where you can go and refresh your skills, your potions, your health. You can move dialogue along for the story in the game. And you can store stuff. Literally, the case that you can put stuff in seems to just have an infinite scale, so you never run out of space, you know. Unlike, say, if you're in Destiny and it goes, no, you can't put anything more in, you've run out of space. Here you can just send it off to you camp, and I'll show you now. If I hold, so everything is trigger based, okay? If I press the right trigger, I get another radial wheel, and this one is specific to this character. So here I can look at her character, I can look at the items she's carrying, her armor, her weapons. Here I can look at what spells she's got. Here I can look in the journal for quests and the next events and so on. I can go for a long rest, which will heal everybody. I can go for a short rest, which will kind of give them a little bit of a heal. I can go back to camp, and I can create some potions and bits and pieces, or I can look at the map. And again, the map is kind of useful. There's a few things about it that, firstly, I don't think it's particularly attractive illustration. It's actually quite hard to work out. It's not like the beautiful new ones that you see in a lot of games where it's kind of got a 3-dimension to it. So as you move, you can kind of work out if it's a tall element or not. It's quite hard to work out here. Plus, it doesn't always show you items on the map. It will sometimes say, oh, if you go over here, you can go out the room and go somewhere, and that's quite useful. But, you know, it's not brilliant, to be honest. It's probably the weakest point in the game. But, look, here's an ogre that I killed getting in here just now. Bless her. If I go to my character, there we go. You can see everything that Rokk is carrying in her inventory on the left. Down here, we can see her armor. If you've played, I mean, any number of RPG games, actually, this is all kind of familiar. I was thinking of the one that I love that I've forgotten the name of, the Amazon one. And when you click in there, you get to choose more. It will sort of show you the weapons that you can choose from and stuff. In the inventory, you can still manage all... So look, I've got a load of food and bits and pieces. I really don't want to be carrying that because it's all adds to the weight. So I'll go through and select the food. Dismembered heads and such. And then once I've selected it with the right trigger, if I hit the X again, I can just send the whole lot to camp. Perfect. So, and also I can move down and see my other characters as well. So if I want to, I can move something from their inventory, or I could move it to another character if I want to. So we'll move that to whoops, I just dumped it all. Damn. It's all right, we'll pick it up. Here it is, all on the floor. It's just about the reason that you want to pick up food. Oh, what? I just blew everybody up. The reason you want to pick up food. Let's get back to camp. I'll show you. To rid everybody of bad karma and get everybody's health back and stuff. If you look on the left, the bottom character with the rat is 2/3 red. He's not in a good state. So what we do is we go to sleep. To go to sleep, you need to use food. Yeah. So it stores all the food. Here we go. And that's why you want to pick anything up. Doesn't matter what it is. I hit auto select, and then we go for a full rest. Very good. But the most important thing is, as you can see on the left-hand side, he's now fully recovered. Oh, look, the dog needs to talk to somebody. So what we need to do is we need to choose Will. Come on, Will, over here. Which you do by using the left trigger, and then you can just come up and down to choose your character. Now, Will is able to talk to animals. Here he goes. So we've got him ready. He's now going to come over and talk to Scratch, the dog.
The dog is unable to speak through the small bag he holds.
Oh, look, he's got a little
mouth.
pouch for you. Bless him. What have you got there, Scratch? Oh, he's such a dutiful dog.
I don't know. Maybe you can tell me. All I know is I thought of you when I saw it.
Oh, what a lovely doggy. Pet him. Come on, show him some love. He loves a little pet. Oh. Oh. He's a lovely little dog. And leave. He's going to pick up the item, and the item that he picked up was a potion of healing. See, his little doggy comes out. Every time he goes down, he gives little dog. Gives him something. And it's really cool because if I go to throw an item, I happen to have his ball. Watch this, he loves it. Look at him, he's getting ready. Here we go, mate. Look, he's got it. Oh, we got the ball back. I don't think the dog was too impressed with the rat though, but he's our familiar. He comes around with us. He's like an extra character. So, as you can see, we're fully healed. We could go and... Oh, look, someone wants to talk to us over here. I think he's on the scrounge.
My condition likes being ignored as little as I do. I must consume another artifact.
You can see how much easier it is with the controller. And, some people want the complexity of being able to pull out the little icons and see it all there and stuff. But honestly, using the controller works so easily. My condition likes being... I must consume another artifact. All right, we've got to keep giving him bits of magic. What have we got that I don't want? I don't think that's worth much. We'll give him that one. Where's it gone? What happened to it? I just donated it, didn't I? Where's it gone?
Thank you.
That's all right. Yeah, the story's unfolding with this guy. There's something going on with him. I did have a vampire earlier on, but I got rid of him. I didn't like him.
Good gods. It hardly has any effect. Oh, Mister, have mercy on us all. Listen, I need to speak to you, to all of you. It would be unconscionable of me to remain silent.
Listen, I need to speak to you, to all of you. It would be unconscionable of me to remain silent. Go on, you're among friends. I need to trust you. This better be good. Okay.
In the waste it might have been, you have to know who I was. You have to know who I really am.
With the dog.
What I am is a walking shadow of the promise I once held. I'm what one might call a wizard prodigy. And from an early age could not only control the weave,
Press
but
the A button on your
compose it.
controller.
Such
It
was
will
my
skip
skill that it earned
forward.
me
I
the
often
attention
read
of the
these
Mother
before
of
they
Magic
do. So.
herself. She revealed herself to me and she became my teacher. In
Oh,
time, she
are you
became
telling
my
me you
muse.
made love to a goddess? They
Later,
often
even my
do
lover.
in this game. Bold, few were dared to reduce a goddess to their muse. I don't believe a word. Let's do the first
Oh,
one.
yes.
Oh,
we
yes.
enjoyed each other's company. You see,
Oh,
no
indeed.
matter how powerful a wizard we more, Mistra keeps us in check. There are boundaries I sought to cross her boundaries. I tried to convince her. I pouted. But inconceivable as it seems to me, we come now to the crux of my folly.
Show us your crux.
Can I share the story behind it, or would you rather head straight to its sordid finale?
Let's get straight to the sordid finale.
Suffice it to say, I obtained an obscure and ancient book that had locked away inside a much coveted prize. It was a fragment of primal weave locked out of... What if? I thought. What if? I was certain that this deed of raw power, draped in romance, would convince Mistra to take me by the hand and... Well, I was mistaken. I obtained the fabled book and took it here. Place your hand over my
Now
heart.
we're going to see what happened next.
You feel the tadpole quiver as you
voice.
realize Gale is letting you into the dark. You see through Gale's
Was he
eyes,
get off?
staring down the corridors of a dread memory. A book bound and suddenly opened. Inside there are no pages, only a swirling mass of its teeth, its claws. It's unstoppable as it digs through and becomes part of you. And God's is it ever hungry.
Donald's.
Thankfully, the moment I absorbed the fragment wasn't enough to kill me outright. It was only the beginning. This Netherese blight, this orb,
Balled
for
up.
lack of a better word, is balled up inside my chest. And it needs... As long as I absorb traces of the weave from potent enough sources,
Donald
it remains
Trump's wig.
quiet. Were it ever to fully
Go on.
destabilize,
I
however.
don't want to hear this. Were it ever to fully destabilize. Go on.
I will erupt.
Oh.
I don't know the exact magnitude of the eruption, but given my studies of Netherese magic, I'd say even a fragment as small as the one I carry, it'd level a city the size of Waterdeep.
Nice. Oh. Is there anything we could do?
Chance upon a king's collection of magical artifacts around the corner. We might cross paths with a miracle round the bend.
I'll get rid of him.
Then again, we might not.
Kick him out.
All of this. It must feel like a betrayal. Say the word. Once I'd step out of the protective aura of the artifact. It wouldn't be long before the Absolute overtakes me. I would consume some midnight tears and, with a bit of luck,
He's
I'd
a bit
manage
of an
to make it to
idiot.
a
I think I'm just
mind-flared
gonna get rid of
colony so
him.
that when the orb wouldn't be a heroic end, but coarsely
No,
poetic enough.
you
in its
pose too
justice.
grave a
I
threat.
understand.
Get out of here.
I
Go and
harbor
commit
no
suicide.
ill
Go
will.
on.
In fact, I enjoyed your company
Yeah,
throughout
yeah.
this harrowing journey of ours. My tale is at an end, but yours
Go.
is not. Beat that damn parasite in your head.
Yeah, we don't want exactly
Win
Phoenix.
the day and set.
Get on, stop moaning, mate. Get on with you. That's him, he's gone forever. I mean, genuinely, now, I will be told by some folk, no, he's really important later in the game. If you look around, you'll see that there are people that are highlighted green, and there are people that are highlighted blue. Now, the blue ones are in our current party. The green ones are available to add to the party. So, that's what we will do. We'll go to Shadowheart, who I quite like.
Seems like
and
if Yankee are keen to reclaim the
dude!
artifact, I can.
I am,
Can't
you're
afford that
right.
to happen.
I am
In
playing
fact,
Mortal
none of us
Kombat.
can.
Touche, my
That
friend.
thing is shielding us somehow. I
So we're
don't
gonna get
know
her to
what
join
happens
us.
if we lose it. A problem for
I don't
another
really want to
time.
have a dialogue with her.
Hopefully, we'll no longer be in need of protection by the time my mission draws to an end.
Join me. That's the one I want.
Cast aside some.
Lovely. Right, so she's now joined our party as well. Well, she should have done. Who? Oh, we didn't have Dude in our party anyway. Aha. Oh, we don't need to have her then. Although I think she is. She's better than the guy. So, what I'm showing people today, my friend, is how to play it with the controller rather than the keyboard and mouse, and how much better it is. And as you can see, you can get quite close up to the characters. I know it was a thing you were mentioning last night. Yes, you can come all the way out if you want to, but all you've got to do is push down on the right thumbstick. I personally find it a lot easier to play this game with a controller. If I click over to mouse again, there we go. You'll see how you get all this stuff with all the little buttons and everything, and it's no good for you and me if we're sat 10 feet away from a screen. But just kick the old controller into play and all that goes. And if you need to choose anything, so we just hit that bumper and then we can choose anything from our wheels that we need to use. It's bigger. It tells you down the bottom what it does. It's just simpler. More, in my words, in my book, it's just more approachable. Here's our chest. Actually, not that one. This one, where we sent. No, don't sit down. Get up. Where we sent all of the stuff, if you remember, from. We said send it to camp. It's all here. You can take it out at any point, and the reason I do save everything is you can sell it and make some money, which is good. And don't forget, we can hold down the A key. It will scan the room, and then on the left-hand side, it will tell us everything that we can interact with. So we don't have to go up and try everything. We can just have a little look at that point. See? Love it. Yeah, it's a lot better, and I play it like a more traditional game, whereas I know a lot of the old die-hard D&D and Baldur's Gate guys, they much prefer to play keyboard and mouse, and they'll play up at this level and all that stuff. So, having refreshed and got our rocks off, you missed that, Ant. Lots of nudity just now. If I press A, it'll take us straight back to the point in the game where we left off just now. Now, there are a couple of enemies that we can dispatch in this area. I think they move a little bit faster the less that you're carrying in your inventory as well. So, as I said earlier, if I push down on the left thumbstick, I can send my camera off to have a look around before we go in and because if you go into a room where there are enemies, you immediately enter into battle mode. So it's quite useful to have a little look around first and see if there's any enemies in there. And if they're not, you know it's safe. You can just toddle along. Now, in this case, you can see I can't get over there. There is actually a way. There's a door over here. But if you push down or up, on the D-pad, dragon boobs, you can jump your characters over anything. So you'll see the others will follow. Yay! Come on, little rat. Look at him. Yeah! So I often do that. In fact, you can even push up and jump everywhere if you want to, and get to different places a little bit quicker. Now, I do know that there were some enemies. Now, you see here, there's a couple of guys from a previous battle. If I push down on the A, they'll come up on the left-hand side here. And again, I can have a look and see what they were carrying, if anything. Do that for everybody you kill, or even if you find a dead body, because invariably most things contain something. A couple of little rats there, look. Just having a quick look around, make sure that I'm not missing anything. Now, I've been into this area, so that's all fine. So you can see how much I just think it's just more approachable, easier to play. You can play it like you would any kind of standard. You prefer dragon boobs over cat boobs, do you, Ray? That's fair enough, mate. You can even push through a door, I think. Oh, not this one. Okay, what if I go backwards? No. That's all good. That's because it's going to actually take us into a different area now. We're going to go out into the daylight. where I do believe there are some enemies. I want to just show you how a battle scene works, how conflict works. So you can see a guy over there in red just above Rockwell's name. So what's going to happen here? Let's just move ourselves in and have a look around here first. So I always push down on the left thumbstick, and then I can come in here, move the camera around, and literally check for enemies. So there's a guy there, there's a guy above him in here, there he is, and there's a guy over there. There might be more. Let's have a look around. Nope, I think there's just the 3 of them. So there's a fella over there. Now he will join. He will probably join. I don't know where he was. Maybe he was in there. So what's going to happen now is me and my comrades are going to come into this area. The minute we do that, it's going to put us into battle mode. And that's really where the whole tactical side of the game comes into play. And I love it. And I'll show you why. Well, actually, we'll walk into this area. Now, I know I don't want to just get to the stairs, because then I've got to move forward. Otherwise, I'm not going to get to those guys above, right? So I'm going to jump into this. I'm going to go in as far as I can, because it's not going to affect us at this point. Now, boom. Now we've been put into battle mode. But, and there's the first guy has a crack at me. But because we're a little bit inside the game, I can now get access to those other dudes up on the ramparts. They're all going to have a crack at me. This is the only downside. They'll all be finished in a second. We're all good. Right, it's our go now. So, we're going to do the same thing with her. We're going to jump her in as far as we can, because jumping doesn't affect your moves, whereas moving does. The other thing is a little trick as well, and we'll show you this in a second. Once I've taken somebody down, I can choose to loot their body, and it will move my character there without affecting any of my moves, which is a little trick I've discovered. So first thing we're going to do is hit the right bumper to get up our wheel. All your strong stuff is in the first 2. So here, for example, I could bring in a familiar. So I could, I'll show you that. I won't choose this, but I can bring in the rat that you've already seen, a frog, which pulls some kind of toxin, a crab, which does a nasty pinch, a cat, which just distracts them with a noise. So you can, if you wanted to go in and distract them, you could do that. A raven that blinds them, and a spider that bites them. And it will be like the rat that we've already got in the game, only they die pretty easily, so we won't worry too much about that. Now, we can either go for the 2 guys on the floor, that's not a problem, but these two up the top here are archers. So I'm thinking we need to tackle them first. So I'm looking at what I know are my range actions and spells. So here we've got Magic Missile, nothing to do with Magic Mike. That gives us 3 projectiles. The total damage is about 15. So what you can do with that is you can go 1 missile to this guy, 1 missile to that dude down there, and another missile, but you're watering down the effectiveness. Or we can use our long range attack. On this character, you see it's only 2 to 7. It's not very high. So what I'm going to do is use those missiles, because even individually they're higher. But what I'm going to do, and again, get the camera where you want it. Don't forget, nothing's going to happen during your turn until you've done your thing. So you can take all the time you want in the world. You can move around, and you can even check on this guy. If you look at the top, Sharp Eye Breg says 8. His strength, his overall level is his power is 8, and at the moment he's got full strength. As we shoot him, the first 8 will reduce down, so it'll be like 1 out of 8 gone. And we can look at the other characters and see what they are as well. That one's 14, you see. He's quite high, but he's also slightly drunk. So he may not be as effective as he'd like himself to be. Now this guy's only 4, so he's an easy kill. In fact, I'm going to fire 1 at him, which we've just done, and then I'm going to fire 2 at this guy. There we go. 1, 2. But we've killed him. And this guy's down to 1 out of 8 now, you see? So he was easy. 2 killed him because it was only, he was a level 4. Now I'll show you what I was saying. You see it says loot. If I zoom in a bit, it says loot. Now, I can jump over to there. It's not very far. And I can move to there. But it will use an event or an action. But if I press loot, we nick his gold and we nick his mushrooms. We could even take his longbow if we wanted. But that hasn't affected our character. And she's moved that a little bit closer. However, we've used up all of her actions. There's nothing more we can do with her. We could give her an action surge, which means the next time it's her go, it's probably going to be more damage. But we'll move her along. So we hit Y.
Let's cook with fire, baby.
And that's going to be our next character. So it automatically chooses the next character. Now remember, that one was 14. He was quite high. This one, we'd almost killed. So we're going to take this one out. But what I love to do with this character is I give her this first and foremost, which is Rage. When she goes into a rage, it basically just gives her bonus. Everything's like on top. So there she is. She's raged. So that will stay in rage for the entire battle as well. We're going to choose her bow, which is a 9, and we shoot this dude. He's going to die on this. There we go. Now, actually, it says there's a 55% chance. So potentially the arrow could miss, and quite honestly anything up to 60 or 70% is kind of in the balance. So sometimes you're better off looking for other weapons if you can. She doesn't have any other range weapons. Most of her stuff is local, so we'll go with it. We'll just see what 55 does. Hey, got him. Excellent. We killed him, so that's good news. He's dead. We might even be able to go up here and loot him, which puts us at an advantage. Yeah. Honestly, the radial dial makes such a difference. It takes all the clutter off the screen. So I'm going to pick up the fire arrow. We'll take that one as well. We don't need the other bits and pieces. But now our character's at a height, you see. So it's giving her an automatic advantage. She's run out of stuff to do, so it's not really going to do a great deal anyway, but she's ready for the next time. So we move to our next character automatically. Now you can see he's kind of out the way. He's even too far to be able to have a crack at this guy. So in this case, what we're going to do is push up on the old D-pad and we're going to jump him in as far as we can. The way jump works, if you see that white circle around our character, that's as far. If we move the jump forward, you'll see the ghost of our character. He's okay up to the edge. The minute his foot goes over, or his whole body, you won't be able to jump. So we can take him that far. But that's good. All right, he's now in the battle. And now we can choose a range weapon. I really like this one, the Eldritch Blast. But let's have a look. I always try and find fire. For these little fellas, it does the most damage. So there's a 36 damage on that one, with a 60% chance of hitting him as well. Do it. There you go, let's kill him. Here you go. So that was a 14. We've done the damage. We've taken 3 of the 4 out with hardly any damage on ourselves. We just have this guy left now. Oh, there's a fella over there as well. Okay, well, he's a little bit out of the way. They'll bring him in a second. So we'll hit Y. Don't think there's anything else we can do. Yeah, no, we can't. So we're going to hit Y, get the next character into the fray. Now, we may not need to move this one. It depends if he can see this dude up on the tower. Let's have a look. Path is interrupted, but there's still a 65% chance. So what have we got here then? We're going to try with... this is my favourite one. Here it is, the Guiding Bolt. This does a huge amount of damage. So we'll try and hit this dude. It's gone up to 75% chance, but it may get blocked, so we'll see how it works. No, it's not going to let me do it. It's not a problem. All we need to do is move our guy... radial wheel 4 along, hit jump, Get him over to there so that he's that column's out the way, hopefully. And then we'll come back and pick it up again. There it is. Choose the strongest one. And move the camera up. Hopefully, he's not going to be interrupted. He may well be. We can still move a little bit. No, it's not going to happen. Damn, I should have jumped inside. That's okay. It's all right. We can still move. Need to get him back here, really.
Need to find a way forward.
I see this as a bit like a game of chess, to be honest. I really like it. Let's just try this one again. If he's too far away... Whoa, what happened there? Don't know what happened there. Yeah, it's too far away. That's all good. We'll just try with the arrow. If that doesn't work, we'll move him or leave him there, and we'll just use one of the other characters. So we're all good. No, it's not going to work. He's too far out. Right, this guy's now been summoned to do his thing. He's going to run over. And we can see down the bottom how many actions and bonus actions and movement and stuff. Right, so they've both done their thing now. Oh, the little rat. We don't want to bother with him. And again, I've got magic missile back now. So we're going to do a magic missile, and we're going to do 1, 2, 3. And that takes care of that one. That one's out of the picture. The next one's going to be our friend up on the roof, up on the top there. We'll choose. She's only got the arrow. Hopefully it's going to do a fairly significant... Oh, he's moved out the way. Look at that. The little blighter. There, we're good. Right, so let's see what damage we did. We may have missed him, you see. Yeah, that missed him completely. So we're going to need to move our characters to... let's move her to here. That should give us clearance the next time around.
I'm holding back.
This guy's a little bit out the way again. Ideally, we kind of want to... see if we can climb up. Can we climb up? No, we just wasted him. Oh well, we'll make him. Let's try this dude. See this guy? He's moved now, so we might have a better chance. If not, we've still got our jump and our movements. No, he's still the thing is in the way. That's so annoying. Let's see how far we could. No. Really want to try and get him up on a level or something. Got my jump. Oh,
No hesitation.
nice. That's good, and we'll probably still be able to move him as well. Now, we doubtfully... Oh, we still... Yep, no, we still have our stuff as well. This could be good. Let's see how far this will go. Probably too far. Yeah, damn. But the arrow. Nope. I'm going to abandon this guy. This is their chance to hurt us. Forget the rat. Now I'm going to have to jump her. Oh, hang on. Where's the other guy? Where's the other little fella? Where did he go? If you hit the the D-pad to the left or the right, it will cycle through all the various characters, so you can see where everybody is. Oh no, we took him out, so it's only that guy at the top of the tower who has a really good advantage. Let's see, we'll move her up here. And then I'll just try the arrow first. Oh, he's totally exposed. So what else have we got? We've got the missiles. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. He's dead. There it is. That's it. That's the whole battle. The conquest is concluded. So the next thing I always do is just hold down on the A key, let it do a quick search of everything in the vicinity, and we'll loot everything. Because we can always sell it. Take the gold. I'm going to leave that stuff there. Saves you going up to everything and trying it out. And because they were guarding an area, there'll probably be, oh look, a little music box. That'll be worth a few quid somewhere. Thieves' tools, yep, I'll have those. Anything in red, we're stealing, we're stealing it effectively. We don't need the gloves. Shield, nah. Oh, take a book.
Here we go.
Always take the books. But this is so much easier than you're not missing anything by doing this. It shows you literally everything that you can interact with. I just put these in the camp. You're looking for wooden crates that might contain something. They do, but nothing that I particularly need, so we'll just move over here to the other characters that we've downed. You'll see that glowing purple... oh, flipping heck. It's got caught up on some stuff. Let's just make a jump. Okay. So you see that glowing purple thing? That's a fast travel point that we've unlocked, so we can come back here at any point now. And again, just get to the kind of roughly the centre of where all these guys are. Hold down the A, and it will show us on the left-hand side what they're carrying. A bit of gold, a scimitar, a little ring. So we'll have all that stuff. So you can see how a lot of people have ignored the controller, but it has some really good advantages. And I just think it makes the game more accessible, particularly if you're not, not using a PC for a start, because certainly if you're looking at working on a screen that's distant from where you're going to play, it's much easier to use a controller. Well met, friend. Let's leave there. So there you go. Let's have a quick look at where we are. Everything's accessible on the controller, so I press the 3 dots on the Stadia controller, takes us to the map. This is the wider area for Act 1. The black areas are just inaccessible. I've pretty much gone everywhere now. And those little kind of sunflowery things, they're the fast track points, but if you push down on the right thumbstick, you can just go directly to any of them anyway. Like that. There you go. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is why I prefer to use the controller. I'm going to quit the game right now. First thing to do is save, do a new save. Otherwise it might pull me back earlier in the game. There's a dude down there. You see him? Now, I'm going to try and take him out if I can. Even though we're not in battle, he might be too far away. Here he comes. Oh, we got into battle with him anyway. We'll just quickly dispatch him. Oh, this is... might just better take him out with an arrow. Yeah, he was only a lowly 6. Bless him.